welcome to the show.
Guys.
We are going to be talking today about synchronicities, about being the messenger, about seeing signs, being awake to seeing signs. And we both have some really cool stories to share that go along with this topic. I'm going to start out by telling a story about being the messenger to one of my friends. I was sitting at a softball tournament talking to one of my friends, and this man was being wheeled up in a wheelchair, and my friend knew him, and she's just like, "Hey, what happened to you?" And he's like, "Oh my God, I was in this terrible car accident or motorcycle accident over by this road," and he's like, "I'm lucky to be alive." And she continued her conversation with him, and I continued to watch the game, and I felt the pull to message and call one of my friends and just say, "Hey, I feel like I need to see you." She's like, "Oh, perfect, come over tomorrow." So I went over there and we were talking, and I just said, "So what's new with you? What's been going on in your world?" She's like, "You're not gonna believe this." She's like, "I was driving into town one day and over on this road, and we seen this motorcycle accident, and we seen this truck almost hit it, and this guy almost died." And she's like, "The helicopter came in, we were directing traffic," and she's like, "I'm really sad though because I didn't know if he's alive." And I said, "You're not gonna believe this." I said, "I seen him yesterday. He's okay." And she just like started crying, and she's just like, thank you, God. Thank you for being here and sharing, giving me the message." So that was one of the really cool things that I experienced by being the messenger and following my intuition to contact my friend to share the story.
Right. And one of the things we were talking about earlier was when you have a hunch to do something, like how crazy is it that she just had a hunch out of the blue to contact this random friend and ask how they were doing. That's, to us, like that is such a divine intervention to bring healing to her friend who was so conflicted about what happened in that accident after she had helped. It's incredible. And there's been times in my life too where I've had moments like that too. So I'll share a story. My stepdad passed away from cancer about 4 or 5 years ago. It was very sudden. He died within 9 days of his diagnosis. It was incredibly sudden. And soon after his death, we were cleaning up some of the stuff in the house, and one of the things that he loved so much was eagles. He was a Vietnam vet. He loved this country with all of his heart, and he collected eagles. Everywhere you looked in my mom and stepdad's house, there was eagle figurines, eagle posters, eagle. He ordered this big wooden eagle statue that he put out in the yard. Eagles was his thing. So after he passed away, I was driving to Rice Lake, and I was feeling really sad, and I really missed him. And I wasn't even talking to him. I didn't have that kind of vibe yet. I was just thinking about him. My mind was just thinking about him and missing him and so sad for him dying. And I was stopped at a stop sign waiting to turn left. And a bald eagle flew down and sat right in front of my car in the middle of the road and just blinked at me and looked at me like this. And it didn't move. And I didn't move. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I have goosebumps now talking about it. I pulled my car forward a little bit so I could roll down my window and get a better look at it. It still didn't move. It hopped closer to my car. Huge bald eagle, you guys, like this massive thing with this big head. And it literally just sat there and looked up in my window at me for probably a good minute. That's a long time to have an eagle sit still and look at you. And I was just like frozen there like, "Ross, is that you?" I know it was a sign. I know it was a sign with all my heart. I felt it. So we just wanted to encourage you guys and let you know that these signs are out there every day. And it doesn't just have to be from people who've passed away.
Yes, there's signs and messages everywhere. You just have to be aware of them and pay attention. So we were just videotaping a previous episode, and I looked at the clock and it was 333. That's a synchronicity. Like angels are trying to tell you something, like you're on your divine path, or pennies from heaven, feathers. I find feathers everywhere from angels. If somebody has passed, or even somebody that's still with us, there's messages everywhere. I did a healing on a woman, and she was missing her sister terribly. She went out to her car after the healing, and I just said, start paying attention to the signs. She's with you. Her spirit is always with you. And she went out to the car and sat down and gathered herself, turned on the car, and a song came on that was her song. And I just said that was confirmation that it was the truth. Like, you need to start paying attention because she's giving you messages and signs always.
Yes. And spirit, in our opinion, is playful. In the experience that I've had with sessions and with angels and guides or anything, they're very playful, and they will leave like little clues, little hints to let you know that they're with you and that they're helping. I often see the numbers 1111. I mean, there was one day in particular, I pulled up to McDonald's at 11:11. My total bill was 11:11, and I received, I think, 11 cents in change back. That was all in one like transaction. And it really is just about being aware of the signs and thinking about where your mind is at when you're receiving the signs. Perhaps you're thinking about a big decision you're going to make, or a moment that you had with somebody, and you'll get a little sign, like a song will pop on that'll make you think of someone. Text that person.
Absolutely.
Call that person. If you're thinking about someone, trust that it's a sign that you might have some healing to bring to that person today. Or even just saying, I was telling Tammy, there was a time, I didn't tell Tammy this part, but there was a time I was having a really bad day, a really horrible day. I had just had a miscarriage. I was at the store getting pads because I was actively having a miscarriage, and I was so low and so sad. And I was in the aisle at Walmart, and a woman walked up to me, and she just put her hand on my back, and she goes, I just want to tell you, you are such a beautiful woman, and I hope you have a great day. And I was like almost sobbing. That woman had no idea that I had just lost a child, that I was at the store to get items for the current miscarriage I was having. She felt it in her spirit to walk up to me. Whatever pulled her towards me changed my whole day. And that was years ago, and I've never forgotten it.
God sent you an angel.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. And you can be that for someone.
Absolutely. If you see like numbers everywhere, pay attention to those, even look them up. They mean something. They're angel numbers. I went to Las Vegas with a friend, and we stayed at the Four Queens. We went to check in. We were on the 4th floor in room 444.
Oh my God.
So we're just like, okay, this is divine intervention, and it meant that there were angels all around us. Like we were on our right path, angels all around us, and we actually went and both got 444 tattooed on our bodies. Cool. that next day. So pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the synchronicities. Just know that the universe and God are showing you, like if you're on your divine path, there's just so many signs everywhere. Like before we started this, Shayna's like, I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I'm giving the spirit of whatever. And I shut my eyes, and I seen the Olympic rings, and it's just like I get signs and messages all the time, and I'm so eager to share them with people because I know it can make a difference in their life.
Yes. So we want to encourage you guys to do the same. If you have any questions, please let us know. We love you all so much for listening and tuning in, and we hope to see you in another episode soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Take
guys.
care.
Bye. Nuts.
Oh my God.
One day we're gonna put that in there. Okay. All right.
That.
You do the intro. You do the intro. I'll say hi, and you do the whole thing.
Okay, what are we talking about? Synchronicities.
Yeah, synchronicities, signs,
And messages.
and
Being
how to
the
pay
messenger.
attention. How to pay attention. And if you're having the intuition, like to talk to someone and say something, trust that they need.
The messages that you get, the messages that we receive, and everybody gets them. They're just not paying attention.
Okay, ready?
What am I saying?
Ask God. Download it into her, please.
You want to know? I just seen the Olympic rings.